your Wikipedia entry under personal life is only 3 sentences long.
That's good.
The first 2 are about your family.
Yeah.
Third is Tapper is a lifelong fan of the Philadelphia Phillies, Philadelphia Flyers, Philadelphia Eagles, and Philadelphia 76ers. And I just want to know, did they get those teams in the proper order for you?
No. I don't know who writes these things. I'm happy for it, honestly. And I like the Flyers, like, theoretically. I've never been that big a hockey fan because I just can't follow the puck. I was really excited during that short period where they let you, there was like a laser thing that you could follow the puck, and then they stopped it. And like, my eyes aren't that quick. My best friend growing up, Jason Lerner, was like the biggest Bobby Clark fan known to man. So I appreciate the love that people have for the Broad Street Bullies, but no, they would have to be listed last. Just not because I don't love them, but just because I can't follow the sport. No, it's probably like an Eagles-Phillies tie, followed by Sixers, followed by the Flyers. But it's very, I'm very capricious about it. Like last night, I was more of a Sixers fan, even though they lost. You know, maybe it's a 3-way tie at the top. I haven't followed the Sixers as much just because there's so many. It's easier to be a football fan because there's so fewer games.
Well, seriously, our sports department found out I was talking to you and wanted me to ask you a couple of questions. And
okay, now they know more about sports than I do.
Well, I mean, I told them, don't expect me to understand the answer. What's your prediction on the Sixers? Can they win it all this year? And after Sunday's game, you might have changed your mind about that. I don't know.
I mean, sure they can. Yeah, I mean, I think they can. I think it's a very exciting team. Yeah, why don't I just leave it at that? I mean, I think, I think what was demoralizing to me watching earlier this season was watching the Sixers play the Warriors. And my brother moved out to San Francisco, where he lives with his wife and daughter and son. And they are huge Golden State Warriors fans, huge. And I mean, Steph Curry is just amazing. And while I'm a huge fan of the Sixers and Joel Embiid and all the rest, that was kind of depressing because it's just like, it's like watching, I don't know. He's just so good.
Well, how about the Eagles and the Phillies? Feeling optimistic about their next?
I mean, the Phillies are under 500 right now, so they'll have to get over 500 for me to feel a little bit more optimistic. I mean, I love them so much, but they're under 500, so I'm not tremendously optimistic. It's tough asking a Philadelphia fan if they're optimistic because it's like it is not in our nature to be optimistic. I mean, I actually went to the Super Bowl where the Eagles won, and like I was terrified. Well, probably everybody was. I was terrified until it was over. I mean, I was convinced Brady was going to score on that last run. So, I mean, no, I'm not confident that the Phillies are going to take it all, but they could. I mean, look, they their last World Series season, they didn't start out great either. But no, I mean, at this point, they should be better than 500. And Eagles, we'll see. I mean, as an Eagle fan, it is weird to look at the team and see how few players were on the Super Bowl winning team that are still on the team. The coach, we don't have either of the quarterbacks. I mean, we don't have Malcolm Jenkins. I don't know if we're going to have Zach Ertz. I mean, so it's very kind of depressing to see, to see that so many of the players I love just not there anymore.
Yeah, and I think people felt emotional when your team wins a Super Bowl, you feel emotionally about the individuals who were there.
Yeah,
too, and it's hard to.
How do we not have either of those quarterbacks? I mean, that's all. That's my only question. Like, I personally would have stuck with Foles, but that said, like, how do we have neither of them? Anyway.
Yeah. Well, what's it like to be a Phillies sports fan living in Washington? Are there divided loyalties within your immediate family? Or
no? Well, yes, of course. I'm the only Phillies fan in my family. My wife is from St. Joseph, Missouri, so she roots for Kansas City teams. Oh. And my kids, they're not really sports fans per se. but when I take them to a Phillies Nats game, my son just says he's rooting for the winner. He doesn't care. So I'm trying to instill in them a Philly pride, but I don't think it works that way. I don't think it's not a transitive property per se. And as for like, what's it like to be a Phillies fan or a Philadelphia fan in DC? I mean, it's, there's like a small group of us there's an email chain with a few people in journalism and politics, completely free of anything other than conversations about Philadelphia sports and also Wawa. And we're on this and we talk, and there's no politics allowed. Nobody talks about anything other than Philadelphia sports. And that's great. And the email chain has been going on so long and nobody has replaced the subject line. So it's just like, just like in the hundreds by now, but it's kind of lonely, right? You seek out fellow Philadelphia fans.